Welcome back to episode 102 of AyyScare Plays Kingdoms Reborn. So, we're picking up right from where we left off. We're here in year 2. We're at a population of 44, and we are growing. We made it through our first winter our first 2 winters pretty cleanly, and we are at the point where we need to keep it growing. So let's go ahead and hop on into things. We'll play this at 2x speed for now. So next big thing that I think I want to do at this point, I feel like we have kind of our baseline kind of good to go now. Although right now we're completely out of food, so let's do this. Let's start trading out some of this stone. I'm going to control click to mass sell what I can. I'm going to do that on both of my trades. You can see that got us a lot of money. So with that money, I'm going to go ahead and buy the next tile down. Main goal with this one is to continue letting us get more wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to throw this forester basically right in the center of this. And let's see if I can also get a fruit gatherer. Sweet, I can. I'm trying to think if I want anything else in here. I'll also get a hunting lodge, just that I have one. And then let's go ahead and place these. So, fruit gatherer will go there, I guess. And I'll throw the hunting lodge right on the opposite side, although I guess getting them a little bit more in range would actually be beneficial. Go ahead, pull that on down. So that should help us get a little bit more wood. I will set this forester to prioritize planting fruit trees. Yes, that's what I want. Perfect. We'll use our speed up here on the fishing docks just so we get some food going. And before we, so right now I'm like maxed out, not only on the food situation, wood situation's not good, I'm maxed out on population. I'm going to stop working at my immigration office for a little bit until I get this under control. So let's hop back here. So that's all going down. We are going to eventually need some additional homes. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in a few more of those to be built. Do a little something like that. How is the farming land? It's in the 80s, which is not the best, but honestly it could be much worse. You normally only find really good fertility like right near water or right at the base of certain sides of mountains. So you can see over here, for whatever reason, has a little bit of high fertility. Let's just zoom out here and take a little bit of a look. So like up here is awesome fertility everywhere, but I'm not going to be there for a while. And I'm probably going to need a little bit more of our medicinal herb. So while it's not going to be the most useful farm, I am going to go ahead and drop one in here. Let's see if we can get it to be the max size. That should be pretty good. We actually just got a warning about our herb count being low, so good thing we're diving into that right away. Let's see. Just trying to figure out the best way to fill in this space. That looks pretty good, and then we should be able to get one more. Although I kind of want to leave some of this as farmland for these, so I'm actually going to leave the rest. Medicinal herb. Those are our houses. Okay, we need to just chop certain trees at this point. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to do much. I'm also going to trade for some so I can sell a bunch of stone. Let's sell 100, and then we'll buy some wood in the same turn here. That's going to be our 180. It's only going to cost me 2/16 since I'm also selling the stone. And then when you're importing stuff, it does take a little while for that to come in, so I'll speed that up. Let's see here. So even though I'm going to start running low on steel tools, I should have my stone tools up here shortly. That's what this was, the stone tool shop. Although I'm going to need wood in order for that to work. So we're about to run out of medicine, but hopefully this will give me enough herb to make it through the winter without too much loss. Let's see. I have 16 laborers, which is a pretty good amount. Like right now I could just up this with 4 additional worker slots. That would then give me additional stone that I can go ahead and sell. Maybe I'll actually do that. Let's go ahead and sell some stone off. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on this one. And then I should have the money to upgrade both of them. Awesome. So now that I have both of those running... Okay, we maxed out our card again. So right now we're sitting at these 2 wild cards. So I'm going to need to pick up on that here. Let's try to speed up that wood again. Is this guy giving me decent amounts? No, he's only giving me 28 right now. I only have 1 worker on it. I forgot about that. Alright, that was my fault. This is giving us some beef. Not a ton, but a little bit. You know, lack of wood and lack of food. It's a double-edged sword right now. With the lack of wood, I'm scared to do a mushroom farm. I might go ahead and get 1 or 2 more fisheries for right now, just in order to make sure I do not die over the winter here. How much is this worth? Minus 10% trading. That's actually useful. It might be a good time for me to upgrade my town hall. Go ahead and do that. Alright, what do we have here? So we can increase our productivity for beer breweries or increase our tool making. And I think tool making is going to be the main way that I'm going for money this game. So let's go ahead and grab that. So we can now sell food, buy wood, snatch. Oh, those are additional cards. Okay. And now that we upgraded to a level 2, we can slot in another thing. I'm going to go ahead and use this Companies Act so that our trades are a little bit more beneficial. Right. People are not happy. We're running into some problems, mainly in regards to food. Let's look in our upgrades tree. And I can go ahead and unlock cabbage seeds. Let's go ahead and do that right away. That way, we will be able to have some farms that give us some additional food. Let's see here. I'm actually going to switch these to doing cabbage. And we're going to be running low here on a number of things. Let's see what we can get rid of. We're about to get into winter, so I don't really want to sell my coal. Pig Ranch is not doing much for me at the moment. Maybe once this other thing goes up, maybe I'll then have enough to be able to properly get up a mushroom farm. Alright, let's see. I don't think up here was good fertility. Let me just look at that again. Yeah, there's a lot of good fertility down here. I might go ahead and run a road down here to get up some farms for next year here. Let's do that. Let's bring a road down. And then we'll figure this out. So we want these to be 64, at least close to. 63, that's good enough. Another 63. Another 63. Alright, that will get me 3 additional farms. Storage too far. Alright, so we'll need to throw a storage yard somewhere. Take a quick look here. I can't get around. Oh. This stuff is always a little bit not what I want. But what can you do? Get some additional storage there. Okay, those are all going to be cabbage. I might need a house a little bit closer to those. So I'll throw another house down there. Alright. At this point, I'm going to speed things up because I don't think there's going to be too much that I can do right now until we get up some of the things that we have going right now. Somebody died from starvation. I'm hoping that the additional fruit gatherer should help us out, and this hunting lodge should help us out. I'm not entirely sure how to get additional animals to spawn, to be quite honest. Like, if we look at this, there's no animals left in its range. My main workflow with this right now is to basically delete it and move it, but I feel like there's got to be a better way of doing it that I'm just not aware of right now. Alright, let's see. I should be able to sell off some stone. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to bring in some additional wood to help me out for a little bit here. Bring another 100 wood there. Bring in food additionally from our fish. Right now we're missing out on some luxury. We'll be getting some luxury shortly. So in order to start upgrading homes, we need to start getting some luxury items. So luxury items that we need right now are going to be beer, cannabis, furniture, pottery, or tulips. Looking around, I feel like we're using too much wood elsewhere right now in order to just throw the wood or the furniture shop as an option. Let's do this real quick. Actually, let's gather non-fruit trees from this area. That way our forester can then replant those as fruit trees, which should help in our future seasons here with our fruit gatherer. Cool. Let's make sure I did that right. Non-fruit trees. Yeah, okay, that's what I want. Alright. A bunch of people are starving right now, so I'm going to try to speed up the production on the fish. And you can see, like, when the fish finishes, somebody runs that to the storage and then it gets distributed. So once again, there's probably other ways that we can try to speed up these workflows a little bit, but I'm not good enough at the game yet to tell you exactly what I would recommend. So alright, let's see here. I can go ahead and make it so that some coal would be more or better used. That's going to use up basically all of our stone though, so I'm not going to do that right now. Let's go to this tech tree for a second. So in order to start getting our first luxury, I can go ahead and unlock pottery. Let's go ahead and do that, actually. Let's see, I can buy that. Buy the clay pit. Cool. Now, in order for these to work, they do have to be near a river. They don't have to be on the river, but they do have to be near it. So this might be a good time for me to buy this piece of land. Not only can I start setting up my pottery stuff like down here, but over here was also really fertile, so I can set up some additional farms. So that's my game plan right here. So how much is this? 850. All right. So we're gonna need to trade out some stuff here. Right now I'm not using leather. Go ahead and get rid of those. And we have a lot of stone tools. That goes for some decent money. So we'll go ahead and basically get rid of all of those since we are creating more of those. Cool. We're going to go ahead and claim this province. Let's set up our clay pit. I'm actually just going to set it up right here next to the farms. And then I'm actually going to set up the pottery basically right next door. Now, one thing I don't know off the top of my head, I don't know if they can just go straight from the clay pit to the potter. I'm not sure if it requires a storage yard or not in between. So I'm going to just throw down a small storage spot there. And that should be good. Now, wood is still a big concern for me. So I think getting another forester in here is probably going to be my next thing. I don't have it as an option here, so I'm going to use a wild card for it. Forester. So we'll do something like that. And then up here we have this really nice fertile area. So let's try to get this with a few farms that we'll be able to use. Perfect. All right, and then we will bring some little roadways in, and that should be good. And let's see, these, I need at least one of these on medicinal, so then we'll switch that one to be medicinal. Yeah, I might need to import a little bit of medicine. I don't need a lot, but I think I do need some. So let's export some straight stone. And then we'll import some medicine over here. Medicine's super expensive, so that will import me 50 of that. Somebody left because they were starving. And unfortunately, this stuff didn't get up as fast as I was hoping for. Okay. Right now we need no laborers. Let's set our immigration office to be working again. That way we can get some people in here to start building and things like that. And let's see, is there things I don't need right now? I definitely don't need as many getting stone that I currently have set here. I'm going to manually set both of those back down to 4. That way we get some additional builders and laborers back. I'm not sure what the 8 means in this case. Set job priorities. Does that just mean that it can go back up to 8? Is that what that means? Maybe they do that after 5, so you don't have like a bunch of the little human icons. I'm honestly not 100% sure on that one, but Yeah, we gotta get these buildings up. This is... Because once I get this stuff going, I feel like I'm going to be in actually some pretty good positions. It's just I need some wood. Wood is still a problem for me because almost all of that requires wood. Go ahead and sell a bunch of our steel tools and some stone. And we'll import some wood again. Let's take a quick look here. This forester is currently only bringing in 27 wood per season. Let's see how this one's doing. This one's also only bringing in like 24, so not doing too well on that front, but that is something that over time, like once you reach mid-game, I think that you'll see that these really do end up sustaining themselves. It's just early game is rough. So here we're going to get a sustainability book, and I'll show you why. If we head over to our stone tools shop here. So right now this takes 5 stone, 5 wood to make 13 tools. If we throw that on there, it drops it to 3 in order to make 13. Early game, again, that's not causing a huge difference, but later game where it's like you need 30 of one and 50 of another, you throw this on there and it's like, yeah, it's saving us a lot of stuff. Somehow I just got 150 wood, and that's before the wood import. I'm not sure, is that, I actually have no idea how I got that wood right there. But who knows, now I have a surplus of wood, so I am happy on that front. Wow, this fruit gatherer is actually doing a pretty darn good job this time there. Bringing me in over 100 food. I haven't really looked. I wonder if the fruit gatherer... I wonder if the fruit spawns at the beginning of every season, or at the beginning of every spring. I'm not 100% sure. Something that I should be probably keeping a closer eye on. Now, right now, before we even have all of our farms up, it looks like I am meeting food demand, so that's good. We're still probably going to have a little bit of problems here heading into the winter, but we're also going to run into a coal problem here. Let's see, we got our speed up things. Am I low on builders again? I see just like different things going everywhere, so. Alright, so the medicine I imported is almost gone. We do now have some medicinal herb, and we have some additional getting picked up there, so that seems good. Let's see, is this one prioritize planting fruit trees, cut any trees? Sounds good to me. These are all going to be cabbages. I'd really love to see this all go up before next winter. Well, before the end of the winter. Because otherwise, we'll struggle a little bit. Alright, we got our clay pit up, and then our potter is also going up. So that will allow us to start getting some luxury items here soon. I like the look of this little area that we got going. I think that it's a cool little layout. One thing that I don't think I've shown is that you can zoom in here every single person has information on themselves, tells you what they're up to, tells you their happiness, all that jazz. You can also rotate. This includes the further out views. Not something I tend to do too much, though, to be quite honest, but it is something that you can do. And now we're at a point where we're getting a huge surplus of wood, so I guess our foresters finally set up in a way that they're making decent wood. Awesome. Alright, we got our potter up, which means we should see here in a moment that we are finally going to start getting some luxury items, which in turn is going to start upgrading some of our houses. Let's see here. Now that we have a surplus of wood, we can also start getting some wood furniture. That might be worthwhile. We could go into brewing. The only thing that I am not a big fan of there is I find that until I can make wheat also into bread, it's a little bit hard to make that beer. I don't know what word I'm looking for. It's hard to make that a usable thing early game. So let's go ahead and get our wood industry. So we have a furniture workshop now. And charcoal burner improvements. I'm not using charcoal burners, so I'm not going to do that. Here's where I unlock the wheat seeds. But again, I feel like I'm using most of my food on cabbages right now. Cabbage has high fertility sensitivity. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and unlock influence points. Now, influence points kind of do two different things. First, they're the way that you actually attack other people later in the game, but you can also use influence points to gain land instead of paying for the land. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock that. And now that we have influence points, you'll see that we gain that similar to how we're gaining our science and coins. All right. Food is still a problem for us right now. We made it to late winter, though, so that is a good thing. Let's go ahead and I paused here. I'm going to go ahead and set up a furniture shop. I'm going to throw that right next to my stone tool shop. That way, kind of, we have a little area over here where a number of our industries are going to get set up. And just like that, we actually made it to year 4. So that is going to wrap up episode 2. Episode 3 should be fun. It looks like we're going to have a number of different things that we can do. A number of, we'll start finally gathering some luxuries. We'll have to figure out our medicine numbers. But we seem to be on the right trajectory here. So if you stuck it out till the end, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys next episode. AyyScare out.